In the oldest of ancient texts, long before kings reigned and before humanity built cities, there was a rebellion that shook heaven itself, but it wasn't by mortals, no? It was by angels, 200 of them. They were called the Watchers. And today, we're going to dive deep into their legend. Before we begin, remember to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already so that you can join our community of truth seekers and knowledge enthusiasts. Let's get started. Long ago, when the universe was young and the stars shone brighter than ever before, the celestial realm was filled with peace. Angels served the Creator, their days filled with praising His wisdom and watching over the newborn earth. But among them, one angel grew discontented. His name was Semyaza, or Semyaza, meaning poison of deceit. He yearned for more, craving power and glory beyond his angelic duties. To quench his thirst, he descended from the heavens to the peaks of Mount Hermon. There, gazing at the earth below, he hatched a plan that would forever change the course of history. Semyaza knew that acting alone would bring swift and terrible retribution. He needed allies, many allies. So he sent 200 of his closest and most ambitious companions to the same mountaintop. There, under the starry sky, he laid out his plan. The plan was risky, daring even. It involved taking human wives, a forbidden act that could incur the wrath of the heavens. But Semyaza argued that if they all did it together, the risk would be shared. Each would only be punished individually if one acted alone. But if all 200 acted together, then the punishment would fall on all equally. His followers listened, their faces lit by the starlight, their hearts filled with a mixture of fear and desire. They were angels, immortal and pure, yet here they were listening to the whispers of forbidden love. And so the pact was made right then, and they're atop Mount Hermon. Each of the 200 Watchers vowed to defy the celestial laws, to abandon their heavenly duties, and to claim human wives for themselves. The details were discussed, the risks weighed, and the consequences considered. Then came the oath. Sealing the pact, they cursed anyone who broke the vow, cursed to become the vessel of the abyss. Those who broke the pact would face the full wrath of the celestial powers. This oath bound them together, a bond of sin and forbiddance desire. With their decision made, the 200 angels descended to the earth below. Now known as the Watchers, these heavenly beings became enamored with humanity. Not with the people, no, but with their daughters, whose beauty captivated the Watchers. Human women were seen as vessels of earthly delights, a way to experience the world through mortal senses. One of the first angels to act was Azazel, who found a woman in the land of Edom and had a son by her. This marked the beginning of a new lineage, a hybrid race of divine and mortal blood. Azazel settled in the mountains of Oman and taught humanity secret arts, particularly those related to weapons, metalworking, and instruments of war. Through Azazel's teachings, humans learned to craft armor, weapons, and tools of destruction, leading to both advancement and corruption. Another Watcher, named Semyaza, fell in love with the daughter of the king of the north. Together they had children, and Semyaza taught the king's daughter the art of enchantment and sorcery. In fact, the secrets he imparted were so powerful that King Solomon later wrote about them in his grimoire, although he claimed to have received this knowledge from another source. As the Watchers continued their unions with human women, they spread across the earth, each selecting a different region as their home. They imparted knowledge freely, sharing their divine wisdom, which accelerated human development in various fields. But this knowledge, born from celestial secrets, was not meant for mortals and soon led humanity down a path of corruption and sin. But the knowledge wasn't always directly imparted. Sometimes it was more subtle, more manipulative. For example, when Asmodeus united with a human woman, he bestowed upon her a flower that granted wishes. With this flower, she deceived her husband, exploiting his power for her own desires. In another instance, Amduja seduced a virgin who became pregnant by him and went on to bear giants, further blurring the lines between heaven and earth. These unions with humans bore strange and powerful offspring, beings known as the Nephilim. They were immensely strong and terrifying to behold. And the Watchers, with their superior numbers and divine essence, had no issue protecting their offspring. Together, Watchers and Nephilim roamed the earth, dominating its surface and instilling fear in mortal hearts. They taught humans the secrets of chariots, war, and bloodshed, leading to large-scale conflicts, destruction, and death. And they reveled in this chaos, finding excitement in the violence they had created. It was during this time that the earth became corrupted, not just with blood, but with the spirit of discord. The Nephilim lived only for food, consuming whatever they desired without care or pity. Humans suffered greatly under their oppressive rule. The prayers of the afflicted reached the heavens, and the celestial council was moved to act. God sent his four greatest archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, to set things right. Each archangel had a specific task. Uriel was instructed to bind Shem Hamfresh, who had taken human wives and procreated with them. Uriel found Shem Hamfresh in the plain of Sennar, holding court with his giant sons. The archangel used a ring of fire to restrain him, binding him hand and foot until he was carried away to his prison in the desert. Michael, the warrior archangel, confronted Semyaza, the leader of the rebellion. Their battle was epic, shaking the foundations of the earth. Michael, though outnumbered, managed to trap Semyaza in a cave with 180 of his fellow Watchers, sealing them inside with a stone slab. Only two angels, Azazel and Abdiel, managed to escape Michael's grasp. Gabriel was tasked with destroying the Nephilim, the giants who plagued the earth. He blew his horn, creating a sound so powerful that it drove the Nephilim into a frenzy, causing them to attack and devour one another. In the end, only a few remained, fleeing into the mountains. Finally, Raphael was sent to deal with Azazel, one of the most corrupt of the Watchers. Raphael, accompanied by two angels, located Azazel in the desert, chained him up, and threw him into the same desert, burying him under sharp rocks in the darkness. Azazel was destined to remain there until the day of final judgment, and so the earth was cleansed. The Nephilim were gone, the Watchers imprisoned, and the corrupt angels bound in the depths of the desert. Yet the story doesn't end here. Fragments of their essence, their knowledge, and their sins remained, lingering on the earth like stubborn stains. Some say that the giants, driven by their insatiable hunger, somehow survived the great flood sent by God to wipe away the corruption of the Watchers and the Nephilim. Others believe that their souls wandered the earth as unclean spirits, whispering temptations and spreading corruption wherever they went. These are the ones we now call demons. The knowledge the Watchers shared, meant only for celestial beings, permeated ancient texts, myths, and magic. It lay hidden in forgotten ruins or passed down through whispered tales. It was a potent legacy, dangerous and alluring. It has been said that the return of the giants is imminent, that the Watchers are stirring in their prisons, and that humanity is on the brink of a new age of corruption and bloodlust. There are those who believe that the Watchers are already among us, disguised and watching, waiting for the moment to strike. Our world is changing. The veil between dimensions is thinning. And as darkness grows, so does the power of the Watchers. Who are the Watchers? Are they just fallen angels, or are they something more sinister? And why do they continue to influence our world even after their supposed defeat? We may never know the full extent of their influence, nor the depths of their power. But one thing is certain, their story continues to captivate and terrify us because it speaks to the darkest corners of our own nature, reminding us of the fine line between light and darkness. What do you think? Are the Watchers still among us? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Until next time, stay curious, stay thirsty for knowledge, and above all, stay safe because you never know what might be watching from the shadows.